Hello and welcome again to the second video about EZPlan. In this video we're going to focus on the setup of views and the administrative functions that are available within the product. So when you log on as the administrator in the tool, you will see this icon here and only the administrators see this, and this is where you control the different users that can log on, which products they can see, and which columns appear on which views, and you can also create new derived columns. In other words, you could create new rules to display new columns on different views, and you can make those views available then to all of your users. Before I go into that, I just want to cover two more things on the store planning process, and I'm quickly just going to sort this view with all of my top stores at the top. And I just wanted to show you something about looking at the monthly history of every store. So as I click through each store, this is just showing me what the last 6 or 7 months history is for each store. So it gives you maybe a sense of what the trend is in that store for the tops that you're looking at. So this may also help to inform you about whether a store is trending up or down, and how to include it in terms of its grading. The other thing that you do have visible is the growth on last year percentage, which is in this column. So you could see any stores that are planned to grow negatively. So in this case, I can have a look, quickly identify which of those stores are growing negatively, and maybe take some corrective action. Right, so those are the two things I wanted to cover. Now, if we have a look at the store view, you can see this. It has the store name, its planned sales value, the grade, and these two columns are editable on here. Then it has the historical rate of sale, and then sales growth, sales last year. It has what we've called here a format, a store size, and there are many other columns that you could use here. You could use this tool, for example, to set minimums and maximums, and so on. So this is how these views are set up. And first off, I'll talk about how you add a new user. So this is where you have control over all of your users, and setting them up, you can activate and deactivate them. You can see when they've last logged in. You can grant them administrative rights or not, and so on. In this view, this is where you set up a particular user to have access to certain parts of the product hierarchy. So for example, you could grant or revoke access to different parts of the hierarchy to the user here. And then on this view, this is where you define how the columns are made up for each of the views. So this is the retail store view that we're looking at over here, and it has the store name, sales value, plan, and you could change the display name here to be whatever you wanted to call it. You could also change the calculation. So in this case, I've just rounded it so that I don't see any decimal places, but you could use whatever rounding you like. And then these are the fields that you can select from, and these are the functions that you can use to operate on that, to create any valid function for a new column. So that you would add a column here and then go and define what its calculation would be. So you can see what the calculation is for the number of options, and in this case I've set it to be the sales unit plan divided by 13, because we're in a quarter here, so it's 13 weeks, divided by the rate of sale and rounded up to 1. Now the same is true, there are different views for when we get into looking at the product view of the world, and for when we look at the grade summary over here. there are also some options to have a look at what's happening in terms of who's logged in at any point in time. So those are the administrative functions. That's all I want to cover in this session today. So thanks for watching, and next time we'll cover some more on width and depth planning.